What's going on YouTube? It's Matt. So I have an interesting conversation with you guys today, and as you know, on this channel I produce a lot of real estate education, but today I've got something that's a little more of a metaphor. A metaphor is something that describes a thing and you can relate the two, and there's correlations and similarities between the two to learn a great lesson. And today's metaphor is about Rubik's Cubes. Some of you guys may know I have a 6-year-old son, and he became curious about these things, and so we started playing with it, and I took it upon myself, like, I'd like to solve one of these things, because Rubik's Cubes, when you see them laying around, ever since I was a kid, you see them like laying on the table, and you pick it up, and you start playing with it, and you play with it for what? Like maybe a minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, and you're like, yeah, this is fun, I'm going to twist it, turn it, that's not fun, let me go do something else, right? You kind of give up on them quickly. Some ways, like business, because if you look at a Rubik's Cube, it can be a very complex structure, and you could think to yourself, well, if I just turn this thing enough and maybe just twist it and turn it, maybe I'll get lucky and maybe I'll solve it, because solving a Rubik's Cube, of course, is where you get all the whites on one side or the greens on this side, the reds on this side, and you kind of make them all match, right? But we would think that you could make that happen by luck. Think about the probability of that. And in some ways, it's like business. It's like you getting into a real estate business and start buying some rental properties and just, trinking around with it and playing with the business, and you turn it and you try, let's try that. Well, what happens if I turn this to the blue side, and if I, maybe you make one side match. Oh, hey, look, I got a line of whites, kind of like your business. Hey, man, look, I've got a business that's cash flowing a couple $100 or a couple $1,000 a month. Hey, not bad. But to make something a successful enterprise that creates legacy and long-term wealth for you and your family and those that you work with and everything like that, you got to solve all sides of the Rubik's Cube, and they're all different facets of business. Imagine trying to solve a Rubik's Cube by just trink around with it, play with it. Maybe I get lucky and discover some things. Maybe I figure out some algorithms and figure out myself. Maybe if you sat long enough, I'm talking like years, you could figure out some ways that Rubik's Cubes work and just trink around with it and make it work. Trying to solve one side, it screws up another side. It's a complex device. That's like business, okay? Another way that you could do to solve a Rubik's Cube, and some of you guys as in your childhood may have tried this out by taking a Rubik's Cube and say, I noticed there's stickers on here, right? What if I just peeled off these stickers and put it back together with just the stickers on? Well, that'd be cheating, but at least it would make it work. And you could also take a Rubik's Cube and break it and do something like this with it, and assemble it back together and put it together and put it back together the way that it's supposed to go after you just take it and smash this thing with a hammer and turn it into this and try and reassemble it. Maybe in some ways like business. Well, let me see if there's a shortcut. Let me see if there is a way that I can break the rules or break the thing and then try and reassemble it. People have tried to do this, but guess what? If you came into my office and looked at this reassembled Rubik's Cube with the stickers halfway on it, you would know Matt cheated. Matt took that Rubik's Cube and took it apart and put the stickers back on. You'd know by looking at this. Just like if you decided to take a business and let me cheat or let me break the rules to shortcut so I can get this done faster and achieve my goals faster. Sounds very similar, right? You see people do this, but guess what? If you look at a business that involved breaking the rules or involved cheating or whatever it was, or involved getting where you wanted to go by shortcutting or getting around the rules and doing something like this, and looking at it, you'll see it. You'll see it if you look at it close enough, just like you'd be able to see that the stickers were missing or the stickers were halfway peeling off on this thing. You'd know from an integrity standpoint that person cheated, or you'd even see eventually this Rubik's Cube wouldn't hold itself together very long, and it would go back to looking like this, wouldn't it? The real way to solve a Rubik's Cube, and I submit to you the real way to be successful in business and turn this into this, is by finding a process and finding someone who's done it before and discovering the process that they generated and the process that they used. And there's something in Rubik's Cube land called algorithms that you can use, which is something like, hey, one turn this way, one turn that way, and then turn it here, turn it there, and everything like that to make it all match. Now, I personally took a cube that was like this. This is not store-bought, all completely solved. It looked like this when I started. And I went on YouTube, oddly enough, and I found a video on how to solve Rubik's Cubes. And I did. I sat down and I followed the steps. And there are steps to this process. You got to get one side done, and you got to make the top side match all around, and then you slowly work your way down, and there's algorithms to get the cube to a solved position. And I followed those steps, step by step. Took me a while, but guess what? Look what I got. Just like if I had a business that originally looked like this, or this is maybe me getting started in real estate, or in any kind of business in general, and if I just, again, tried to twist it and turn it, and yeah, maybe I can get lucky. You know, I got two yellows that match. That's pretty good. But the other sides don't match. That's not that good. And these whites match. And you know what? Screw it. I'm giving up. Or I can follow a process and listen to someone who's done it before, that's developed a system to make this happen. You can do this in business as well. You don't have to just sit and play with something like this to make it work, and to just let me just try. And a lot of us in business, including me in some ways in my past, have been trying to make a business solve and build a phenomenal thing that's going to pay myself and pay my family and build a legacy and be something I'm proud of. I'm proud of this. That's cool, right? That's pretty cool. This is potential. This is success. This is potential. And you can play around with potential all you want, but until you follow a trusted process and steps from somebody who's done it before, this is where this is going to happen. Now, of course, there's stuff on YouTube to make this happen. There's also stuff on YouTube to make your business successful. Of course, my YouTube channel to make that happen. There's also Bigger Pockets and other things. I didn't pay anything for the education on this. So there's free education on how to make a business work. I'm not shooting this video to tell you guys you got to go out and pay somebody 10, 15, 25 grand for them to whisper the secret of real estate in your ear. Those things are of value, but you don't have to do that. You can get a lot of free education or affordable education through books, through BP, and through everything else that'll teach you how to build something like this. Do not let your ego get in the way and say, Matt, if I play with this potential enough, I'll make it work. I know me, I'm pretty smart. Yeah, it's a trap. You can spend your whole life playing with this thing. Why not have somebody at least show you the ropes to build something like this? That's what I got for you today. Remember, next time you see a Rubik's Cube, think about business, think about the metaphors of it, think about me, and if you guys have other metaphors or things that came up for you, leave it in the comment box. A little off our normal conversation today for the YouTube channel, but I thought you guys would enjoy it. And when I was playing with this thing, I was like, this is such a metaphor for business and for life in some ways. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a great and profitable week.